So you are watching part 3 of Who is Who in Hoaxology. That is the title of one of my channels. I've decided to try to put my channel in video form so that people can see the liars, the hoaxers, and how you've been lied to and hoaxed in history. Hence I call this science Hoaxology, the study of these hoaxes. So this is part 3, and I will speed up the videos. So the voice you hear will be my voice, but the videos have been speeded up. This video will be approximately 1 hour. I hope it provides a blessing to you, and you can see how we've all been lied to.
What I hope to show you in this video is that one actor played 3 roles in hoax history. That abolitionist John Brown is Abraham Lincoln, who is Jefferson Davis. So you can see we'll start with this mugshot of John Brown. Ooh, he was really brave. That's a mugshot. Okay, so now John Brown is Abraham Lincoln, the most well-known president that everybody exonerates as a great hero. He's just an actor, professional actor, who also played Jeff Davis. Okay, they're all the same. Okay, I forgot to make up cards to put in front of them, so you just have to go by my verbal. On the left is John Brown. On the right is Abraham Lincoln. 59%. Now we'll do it again. On the left is John Brown. On the right, Abe Lincoln. 59%. We'll do it again. On the left, John Brown. On the right, Abe Lincoln. 69%. Okay, so we're doing pretty good so far, and we got to keep on going here. All right, so now let's go to show that Abe Lincoln is Jefferson Davis. Abe Lincoln on the left, Jefferson Davis on the right. 59%. Abe Lincoln on the left, Jefferson Davis on the right. 69%. Abe Lincoln on the left, Jefferson Davis on the right, 62%. So even if we go to some of these pictures someone posted up, whereby they actually put together, I believe, Lincoln and Davis, you can just see it and how they put them side by side. You can just see it. It's the same dude or same gal, whatever. Yeah, it looks like Lincoln on the left, Davis on the right. This one looks reversed. Davis on the left, Lincoln on the right. That one's pretty obvious. Lincoln on the left, Davis on the right. That one's pretty obvious too. Davis on the left, Lincoln on the right. Lincoln on the left, Davis on the right. Okay, so back to my theme of tri-bond, which is one actor playing 3 roles. And I also developed quad bond. There might even be one actor playing 5 or 6 roles, which is not unlikely. Because once you get a good actor, they'll use the actor as many ways as they can. Okay, the tri-bond, in this case, John Brown is Abraham Lincoln, who's Jefferson Davis. You have one actor playing 3 roles. John Brown, who is A.B. Lincoln, who is Jefferson Davis. In other words, you've been hoaxed. You've been lied to. History's a stage with actors. You've been indoctrinated. So have I. And it's very difficult to undo the indoctrination. But I hope some of my videos will undo some of the indoctrination damage that's been done to all of our minds. I'd like to set your mind free. Now I'm going to lead you to another place, even though it's sort of not connected in this Lincoln Davis Brown thing. I want to lead you to the mind of Christ. But you fill your mind with the Holy Word of God, and you fill your mind with the presence of Jesus, and you fill your mind with the Spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit. You can have discernment, and the spirit of error will come down. Now that's what you're looking at basically, is the spirit of error. Or we might say, another way to put it is a lying spirit. They're liars. You've been lied to. Lincoln, Brown, and Davis are all just one and the same, played by one good actor who put on one big show. And it was written down in history books and taught to you and taught to me and will continue to be taught in this land. But now you know it was a farce. It was a complete and total farce. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video on Tribond. Hey, to be honest with you, I was going to start out trying to uncover the buffalo in Buffalo when people have been buffaloed. But little by little, in my search for details, I ended up with this story instead. Meet one of the leading news spellcasters.
Thanks for 10 years of covering the news at night for us. This is Shamari's last report with News 4. You've been covering all kinds of stories in your unique style, and you're usually the first on the scene when news is breaking. We're going to miss you. Do you want to tell everybody where you're going?
Yes, I do, but
What's that left hand action? Left hand action!
first want to make sure I say thank you to our viewers for welcoming me into your homes, your office spaces, your phones, your social media accounts. I would not be here without you, because news is about the people. It's not about me. It's not about the suit. It's not about the people of Capitol Hill. It's about you. And I will be joining the great Chef Smith, the news with Chef Smith, on CNBC weeknights at 7 p.m. nonpartisan coverage of...
Okay, sorry about that. We're going to go to the next video.
One year ago this week, Superstorm Sandy slammed into the Northeast, affecting millions of Americans. I was happy to be able to talk to
watch
Alan
for the
about his experience with the storm.
left hand
Taking
usage.
back to the days leading up to Sandy,
Watch the left
about how
hand.
the forecast came together.
Emphasis
Well, I
on the
think
left hand.
the most startling thing that I remember is everybody looking at the European model and how far ahead it was of that left turn over the American models, and thinking, wow, if this really happens, this is going to be really, really bad. And as it happened, as we all know, it did exactly that. Eventually, the other models came into agreement with the European model, and our worst case scenarios came true. In fact, it was
Talking with that left hand.
Sure was. Having experienced so many storms, Al, what struck you about this storm that made it so unique?
Well, just how
Can't resist using it, can he? And neither could the other one. You know why? Because they're one and the same. That's right. They are one and the same. I'm not even sure how to say this guy's name. I don't know how to say his name. Shamari Stone is Al Roker, the newsman. Now you can actually see it in the smile. I mean, you don't have to go any further than the smile. I'll try to show you. Take a look at the smile over there. Now look at the smile over here on the right, on the left. The smile is identical. All they did was kind of polish up with a little bit of wax or something and airbrush and give this individual a little more youthful appearance. But you saw the hand gestures. Could not resist using that left hand. So This isn't what I was originally going to make, but it's where I ended up. The reason I got here was I ran into a story by this dude about Buffalo, and I said, I'm getting vibes. I know that person. I know that actor. And then I realized, it's just the weather dude. Polished up a little bit. I'd like to thank you for watching. End of video. Hey, well, I'm going to try to develop something I call the quad bond. Initially, I was going to first develop the tri-bond, but evidence has led me to the quad bond. What do I mean? One actor playing 4 roles. That's right. Houdini, Tesla, Edison, and Harding. So we'll start with Harry Houdini is Nikola Tesla. All you Tesla fans, sorry to disappoint you. They're all just characters on a stage. A false history. False individuals. All of it. And that's the most difficult thing about this Hoaxology system. It's all a fraud. All. Why? Because the devil rules the world. And the people that are in power know that, so they use his power. The Bible tells us the devil can deceive the whole world. The book of Revelation, Matthew 24:24, says he can even deceive the elect. Well, this elect is not going to be deceived anymore, and I sure hope you're not deceived. So on the left is Harry Houdini. On the left is Harry Houdini. And on the right is Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla. He is Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini is Nikola Tesla. And they all have their fascinating stories. And they all have their mystical powers. But I'm breaking the power for you right now. They're just actors. I know you want to believe in Tesla because he knew so many secrets. But the truth of the matter is they only use actors. Behind these discoveries is an incredible array of individuals that you'll never know their names. But you get one name like Tesla. Big hero. All right. So let's go to the next one in this quad bond. We go to Tesla is Edison. Tesla is Edison. Tesla on the left, Edison on the right. Nikola Tesla is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is Nikola Tesla. They're characters. They're presented. You'll never know the truth about history. You're given history lie books so that you can learn lies and never know the truth about anything or anyone. Well, I sound like a real prophet of doom, I guess. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Can't change it because it's the way it's been from day one. The devil's the deceiver of the world. All right, now we go to Edison on the left and Harding on the right. So pop in some more bubbles. Now the meter doesn't show extreme high because of excuse me, age factor, also prosthetics, okay? And sometimes they do some camera trickery. They'll reverse the sides on the individual somehow, but it is the same individual who plays all those roles. One actor, that's all you need, one good actor who plays multiple roles. I call it a quad bond. I'm going to talk a little bit about a tri-bond. I have some information on a tri-bond for all of you, but this one I'm calling a quad bond. One actor playing multiple roles. That's all. They're actors. They're just actors. Just like Plato's cave. Your whole life, you're chained to the floor. And all you see are shadows on the wall that are being projected to you by the controllers. And so in history, you'll know them as Edison. You'll know them as Harding. Yeah, you'll know them as Tesla. You'll know the famous Harry Houdini. They're all one and the same. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. But before I close, I need to make sure that I give you some hope that if you fix your eyes on Jesus, none of this can get to you. Keep your eyes on the one who is the way, the truth, and the life, namely the Lord Jesus. I'd like to thank you for watching. End of video. So you'll be watching a portion of an episode from The Fugitive, starring David Jansen. This will air November the 19th, 1963. That date is very important. Let's join the episode. It's called Fatso.
Come on now, Davey. Where do you really go?
I told you, Louisville. Why don't you leave him alone? He's such a nice man. He's a doctor. He helps people.
I'm only doing what the law says has to be done. That's your duty as well as mine. Where did he go?
A man like him, a doctor.
A doctor convicted of murder.
No, he didn't do it. I know he didn't.
How do you know?
Well, the reason I know it is because I'm the one you want, not him.
All right, Davey. Tell me all about it.
Well, I heard him arguing with his wife, so I figured that if I did it, they would blame him. I don't know why I did it. It was just something that came over me. Like when I burned the barn. Well, the sheriff will tell you that.
Go on.
Well, I waited till Carter left. I mean, Dr. Kimball. And when he talked about the man with the one arm, that was me.
And, how do you count for that, Davey?
Well, a couple days before that, I sprained my wrist, see? And I had it stuck in my coat. Because then I could look like a one-armed man.
Yeah, and of course you were much thinner at the time.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't fat then.
I don't know how to say this, but he's talking real crazy, like he never did before he went away. About being a one-armed man who committed a murder. Killed a woman.
No, he couldn't have. But it wasn't a Kimball apartment, remember that?
I told you I did.
On the 6th floor, positive.
Yeah, the 6th floor.
Good. Well, that puts you in the clear, Davey. Because it was a house. It wasn't an apartment at all.
Well, that...
The 6th floor! The 6th floor! Now it's November the 19th, 1963. And this television show is gaining popularity, The Fugitive. People love it. Millions of people had subconsciously planted in their mind, murder, the 6th floor. So where does that take us? Well, 3 days later, we're going to get to the bobblehead. By that I mean the bobblehead of the dummy in the limo, the JFK limo. On November the 22nd, 1963, you have the fake assassination of JFK. So we're going to go to the 6th floor. Since this is about the 6th floor implanting in the brain and subconscious of the mind.
Along the route. One of the stops was the 6th Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. The museum is located in what was once the Texas School Book Depository. From the 6th floor southeast corner window of this building, Lee Harvey Oswald shot President John F. Kennedy on November 22nd, 1963. Curator Gary Mack talked about the museum and how the information on the assassination and ensuing investigations is presented.
And what we set out to do was to basically tell
continue an illusion
and not draw any
set
conclusions about what it means, but to present what history has told us. And there have been several investigations and various developments over the years. Most people, according to public opinion surveys, have never been satisfied that it was just Lee Harvey Oswald. But none of these other theories have been proven. And as far as many people are concerned, they've all been dismissed. The official explanation is 3 shots were fired, all from Lee Harvey Oswald.
You know, that photo right there, it was on Time magazine, became controversial because other magazines, it was slightly different. And the scope on the rifle was missing in other photos. So the public became suspicious of the photo. But they should have been suspicious of more than just the photo. Now, in my life, my mother was always suspicious of this JFK assassination, and she led me away from the Warren Commission to option B, that there's some type of conspiracy. So for many, many years, I was seeking the conspiracy theory of it wasn't Oswald and the Warren Commission was bunk. So we're going to go now to a real nice singer and try to relax you a little bit, because I just hit you with a terrible thing, the bobblehead JFK. So let's listen to some relaxing music.
Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracle I can. You'll come in. Step into my world. Leave your head. Welcome to my world. Filled with light. The door opens. And
Why doesn't every home in the U.S. have solar panels? The #1 reason is...
Sorry about that. Okay, so what did we just see, people? Well, you just saw the true Lee Harvey Oswald in his singing career. It's all a big hoax. Lee Harvey Oswald on the left. Singer Jim Reeves on the right. Yes, it was Jim Reeves. There was no killing of a president. There was only the killing of your mind. There was no assassination of a president. There was the only assassination of reality in people's minds, and threw the entire nation into a state of false mourning over a false witness of death. Oswald on the left, Jim Reeves on the right. Oswald on the left, Jim Reeves on the right. All right? So we're going to go to another possible way of showing you who was who. And one of the other ways to do that is to go to the wives. Okay? Now you see that would be Marina Oswald on the left, and Mary Elizabeth Reeves on the right. There's a little bit of an age differential, so the match is not as high, but nevertheless, you get the idea. Marina Oswald was Mrs. Elizabeth Reeves. That's all. Jim Reeves was Oswald. It was all a bunch of baloney. And if we go back here to the episode of Fatso, it's this idea of the 6th floor that nails him.
Floor, positive. Yeah, the 6th floor. Good. Well, that puts you in the clear, Davey. Because it was a house. It wasn't an apartment at all.
Well, that's what I meant.
I know. Good try, Davey.
Good try, hoaxers. You tried to precondition the population with the fugitive, a murder on the 6th floor, associating the 6th floor with a terrible murder, subconscious. Millions are watching this. It's 3 days before Kennedy will get his head blown off. No, it was a dummy. The Zapruder film was a fake. What they filmed was a dummy in a limo with a Hollywood prop. And it was Jackie, or Marilyn Monroe, playing Jackie, pulled a string, and it caused a little explosion on a dummy. That's all that you saw in Zapruder film. Hey, I'd like to thank you for watching. I have fun making these. I hope you have fun watching them. And if you get to the end of my videos, I always want to say an extra thank you. End of video. Hey, it began when I made this video called The Start of Social Engineering by Mass Shootings on Mass Media in 1966. So we're going to go back in time with this video to Texas, and what I did was I took the episode of Star Trek where they're trying to blast into the engineering room, and they're using their phasers to cut the side of the wall, and they're cutting it in the shape of the state of Texas. So this airs September 28th, 1966. Now that takes us back in time to what happened in Texas in 1966. And we'll join the Huntley-Brinkley report here.
Brinkley is on vacation. I'm Chet Huntley. For an hour and a half today, the normally placid university and capital city of Austin, Texas, was held in the grip of a terror which began in killing and ended in killing. A maddened former Marine, a 24-year-old student in the architectural school named Charles Whitman, first killed his wife and mother in their home. Then he fled to the top of the university tower, a 27-story building, and from there shot to death at least 13 other people and wounded at least 31. The carnage did not end until police ended Whitman's life with several bullets. Here is a report from Neil Speltz of KTBC TV, Austin.
A Marine veteran who was an expert marksman shot and killed 10 unsuspecting noontime strollers on the University of Texas campus today, and then he was cut down an hour and a half later by an Austin policeman. When the shooting ended, 30 others were seriously injured. And then the bodies of the alleged snipers, mother and wife, were found in his apartment, both dead. The tally at this hour is 13 dead, 30 wounded, and that figure includes the death of the man police say did the shooting. The sniper, identified as 24-year-old Charles J. Whitman, started shooting from the observation deck of the 27-story tall University Tower. He fell moving targets blocks away. The terror-filled 90 minutes started at 5 minutes before 12 Austin time, and it was one...
Notice how they know the precise time of everything. And what do you see? You just see somebody carrying something. It could be a dummy. It actually could be a person. And there's nothing going on except filming. This is your early disaster drama filming passed off as actual fact reality. That's all it is. It was 1966. Trying to scare the population, especially college students.
When policeman Ramiro Martinez shot Whitman. Victims were cut down on the west and south sides of the campus as the snipers...
What do you have? Just some people running around in front of cameras. Now, if there's anybody really wounded, they're going to be looking and seeing a camera. They're wondering, what in the world are you doing filming us? They're just students that were paid to make a film.
Zeroed in on his targets with unerring accuracy. Those who were felled with bullets from a high-caliber rifle were pulled to safety as soon as possible by officials.
Does it really look dangerous to you? Or does it look like all the, quote, shootings that we've seen in schools? They were at universities, now they're at schools. I guess universities are safe now.
And passers-by. Others crouched in terror. Heavily armed Austin police, sheriff's deputies, highway patrolmen, and Texas Rangers converged on the camp.
The heroes! Da-da-da! All right, so enough of that. You know it's fake, right? It's 1966. All right, the 1st of August. Now, that Star Trek episode came out September 28th, I believe, 1966. So it came out a little bit later. And in my original video there, I suggested they didn't coordinate the timing exactly the way they wanted to. But they were cutting into the control room. Why? Because you'll see that above where they're cutting, it's the engineering room. This engineering control room. Social engineering control. Get it? I know you do. You wouldn't be watching my videos. But I have more on this. Latest development. I couldn't but help notice something additional about it because I investigated it further. So here we go. Now, supposedly there was an individual killed by the name of Karen Griffith, 17-year-old, supposedly. Shot down August 1st, 1966 in Austin, Texas, at the University of Texas. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Well, I'm going to show you. We're going to go to Pictriv. And now on the left is the so-called victim, Karen Griffith. On the right is the one who will become known as Carol Burnett. Now, just about this time, 1961, Carol Burnett is starting to become a celebrity, appearing in television shows. Okay, she's not very well known. We'll get to that in just a minute. He's not very well known. But you can see the so-called victim that was shot and killed, Karen Griffith, was just someone who's going to become very well known much later. But as of right now, in 1966, she's not extremely well known. All right, but she's broke her way into television. Okay, so who is Carol Burnett? I'll take you to another video that I have on another channel. And that channel is Plato's Cave Revisited. Here's the title of the video. So let's just watch that so you can see who the real Carol Burnett is.
Hey, this video is going to show you that the one who played the part of Carol Burnett, which was a popular television show for many, many years, will actually reveal to everyone that she, on stage, is a she, but in reality, she is a man. She will admit to this and literally show you the hoax that was played on the American public. How many women sat back and said, "Oh, I love the Carol Burnett show. I love Carol Burnett." And a lot of them were just women because they thought she was really a funny woman. Well, Carol Burnett is going to reveal to the public the real secret behind this actor. Now try to remember that history is a stage and actors are in front of you. And this is just sort of a demonstration that you can be so fooled so easily. And that a lot of the characters of history were just simply actors playing a role. Okay, let's take you to the Carol Burnett show and then sort of to the backstage and off the air. And Carol is going to get really, really revealing here.
Nicholas asks, who does our costume? Well, I want you to know that the same fellow who does all Cher's clothes, Bob Maggie, does mine. I want you to see the kind of work that goes into one of these outfits. And Banana's a genius, I must say. He designs all these things. And I think, since we're not on a family hour, that you can see this.
Okay, there's on stage and off stage.
Right, so I'll end that portion of the video and I'll take it back to my original Mr. Scott cutting through the wall there, and it's in the shape of the state of Texas. So I've been watching some of the original Star Trek episodes, and this one's called The Naked Time, and it was broadcast September 28, 1966. Now, in the engineering room is Mr. Riley, and he's singing, "I'll take you home again, Kathleen." It's like he's drunk, but he's under the power of some strange disease that was acquired from the planet's surface. And this strange thing is threatening all the crew to kind of turn them into mindless, drunk idiots. And Mr. Scott, on your right, along with his assistant, is going to try to cut into where the controls are to open the door. And as this episode aired, America was looking at the shape of Texas. Now, it's rather crude, and it's not completely accurate. But if you look at the shape of the panel they're cutting, it's very similar to the shape of the state of Texas. Okay, so just take a look at the shape, and you'll see that what they're cutting looks very similar to that, just slightly off in places. So I began to ask myself a question: why would they be cutting a metal plate in the shape of the state of Texas? And I was rather puzzled by that until just a few minutes ago. And then the answer came to me. And the answer comes with the events that took place in Texas in 1966. So we've got to go to Texas, 1966. What went on, in particular, in Texas in 1966. So on the 1st of August, 1966, there will be an incident. There will be an incident whereby it's called the Tower Shooting. The Texas Tower Shooting, whereby a gunman. Okay, I'll stop that video. You can watch it, but I want to take it back to the Pic Tri-Iv. I just once again nail it for you. One of the victims, Karen Griffith, is actually Carol Burnett. 1966, Austin, Texas, Tower Shooting victim, Karen Griffith. Who's Carol Burnett? Actually, Mike Burnett, as I showed you in the other video. Oh, one thing leads to another for me, and it never stops, people. That's why I just pour out the videos, because it never stops in my mind. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. End of video. Hey, if you like slapstick comedy, this is a good movie for you. It's a mad, mad, mad world. This video is really not exactly about the movie. It's about one of the lead characters, the police chief, who really is the one who wants to get the money that was hidden under the big W. If you reverse the W, that's just an M for Mason, because the Masons control the flow of money. And if you reverse the word mad, you get damn world. All right. So anyhow, where am I headed with this? Well, I'm headed to Spencer Tracy, because he's the object of this video. And if you go on my channel, The Elect Deceived, Matthew 24:24, you'll find the original. I wanted to preserve this concept because it's not one of the extremely well-known ones, but Spencer Tracy will hoax the world. So I'm going to play this video for you and allow you to see that Spencer Tracy became a general in World War II. Now, I'm not talking about in the movies. I'm talking about he literally was a general in World War II. Because it was a fake. That's why. I know you're saying, why? Because it was all a fake. The hoax story scripted history is. You're wrong. Because all of it is a stage with actors or celebrities or wealthy individuals in disguise. It doesn't matter. They're not who they say they are. So I'm back to this Army Air Forces Manual, 1944. And they're showing you some of these famous individuals. And the one on the left, on the right there, in the book, Major Harold George. As soon as I saw the face, I said, I know him. And I couldn't get it right out of my mind immediately who the actor was. But fortunately, I've set aside a movie that I want to do a video on. And I said, by gollies, that's it. It's the captain in that movie who's going to benefit from the stolen money. Oh, it was a big movie. And I like to watch it. It's a lot of fun. And I'm going to do a video on it here pretty soon. But anyhow, this individual right there, I'll see if I can blow him up, get him a little bigger to you. I knew it right away as soon as I saw him. I said, I've seen him, just the general look of his eyes and his sort of not really a smile. I said, I know him, I know him, I know him. Who is it, who is it? Well, there you are. All right, so who is it? Well, it's none other than the one who played that captain in that movie that was going to benefit from everyone who was after the money. And guess what? It's a mad, mad world. Yep. Yep, that's the same one, all right. Except he's a little older here in this movie, and it's not a very good picture of him. But yep, that's Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy. Back to the figure that we looked at. I look at him. I didn't even need to go into any kind of electronic pig trib thing, which is what I use. I picked it up right away, just by eyesight. He's an actor. And in the script of the Second World War, he will play Major General Harold L. George. Yes, Spencer Tracy. The one who is going to capitalize on all the crazies in It's a Mad, Mad World. The big movie production with all kinds of movie stars showing up in it. It's a great movie to watch. In fact, I'm going to do some videos on it here soon. So, once again, history is a hoax, and actors take the roles, and they do a real decent job of convincing people of things that are happening as being real, R-E-A-L, but they're actually R-E-E-L, real, as in movie real. Okay? Hoax history. Don't get caught in it. Go to the source of real history, the Holy Bible, the Word of God, the Scriptures. In them is the true history of everything. Thank you for watching. End of video. Okay, that's the end of the original video. So let's go back to this poster. And there you have Spencer Tracy, who's running after the money. The money that was hid under the big W. The big W is the big M for Mason. It's a fun movie to watch. It's lengthy. It has a lot of guest appearances from various movie stars. And it's lighthearted. It's pure and clean. It is fun to watch. But are we living in a mad, 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 mad world? Yes. And is it controlled by those who are, reverse the word mad, damn, 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 damn? Yes, it's controlled by the big W, flipped upside down, Masons. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. This is the end of the video. Hey, I'm on my channel, Who is Who in Hoaxology. Now, I started this channel to try to keep it specifically for ID purposes, identifying the hoaxers. What is their, quote, real identity? And as we find out in Hoaxology, they're just actors. So, mostly this is unveiling the actors. Occasionally I'll put something else on here, and so I'm going to go over my top videos on Who is Who in Hoaxology. Now the top video actually is not an ID video. It's about the different questions that they use. What is your age? And that's a Masonic question. And I came across that in the movie Barabbas. And you can watch this video and you'll see. But I actually had an experience like this in life where someone was trying to recruit me. And I really didn't know what in the blue blazes they were doing. Wore their stupid Masonic shirt. And that wasn't good enough. So they asked me, what's your age? He asked me. See, because they're not supposed to push the Masons on anyone. And their recruits are supposed to come begging, like dogs for a bone, to join their stupid secret club. All right, that's number one. Number two is IDing Spiro Agnew. Now, I came across this by watching some episodes of some television shows, and all of a sudden, boom, it hit me. That's Spiro Agnew, the actor that I was watching on the television show, the old television shows. All right, let's go to the next one. Who's T.D. Jakes? You might be surprised on that one. You might say it's a black and white issue. Next one. How I discovered the identity of Spiro Agnew. And I'll tell a story. I try to do this occasionally so that people who watch my videos can begin to make some discoveries of their own every now and then. And if you do make a discovery, I sure hope you share it with the rest of us. Okay, the next one. Tim Allen as a possible candidate for Joe Biden. Now keep in mind that oftentimes more than one actor will play the historical figure. And that's why it's hard to, quote, figure out all the time who is playing the historical figure. But in this video, I'm strongly suggesting we have seen Tim Allen. Now, we might have observed other actors playing this role. All right, so who is Reggie Nalder, Joseph Goebbels? That was a pretty amazing discovery that I made by watching the good old movie Manchurian Candidate, the original, not the remake. Okay, this is, I think I did a promo for The Prisoner. It's my new channel, Village Prisoner Set Free. It was a promo. Okay, this, I believe, I was doing a spotlight on other channels. Okay, this is Alice Cooper and Howard Stern are the same. Now, I had someone say they're not the same, they're of the same family. And that's always possible. But I think they're the same. There's a lot of uncertainty in this type of thing, and there's a lot of duplication. In other words, like I said, sometimes 2 or 3 actors will play the same historical character. Jimmy Morrison is Rush the Limbaugh. Now that one's a definite. That's a definite. Rush, hush, Rush. You've been nailed. You are Jimmy Morrison. Okay, this is about the crash of, it's not coming up, but it's about the crash of 1929. And that one I did a long time ago. And I must say it's pretty interesting because I explored the special effects in an old-time movie. And I believe that I decoded it trying to tell you that, yeah, of course, it was all set up. The crash of 1929. Okay, this is I think I found out who played Benny Hinn. Benny Hinn, the mega televangelist. It looked like a second-grade actor in this episode of a television show, and he's really, really, really very close in identity to Benny Hinn. They're all actors, by the way. Oh wow, you just have to get onto my Bobby Fischer stuff. You have to, because these are the ones that provoked so much controversy among the people that love chess. Don't swear at me. You don't know anything about chess. I don't have to know anything about chess. All I have to do is be able to nail the actor. By the way, I know a little tiny bit about chess. I have played the game. I'm not good at it. But of all the ones that I've ever done, this one has really stirred some folks out there in make-believe land. They don't like their chess hero being unmasked. They don't like the fact that Bobby Fischer was a fake. And so was Boris Spassky. In fact, I believe that the same actor played both of them at times. All right, good old LBJ is the Duke, John Wayne. Okay, President McKinley is William Hearst. All presidents are fake, all A-L-L. None are real, R-E-A-L. Okay, this is about, was President Reagan born female? All right, there's more on here, but I thought I'd run down some of these ones for you. I try to keep this channel reserved just strictly for ID purposes, but occasionally I'll put something else on there. So if you get a chance, go to Who is Who in Hoaxology. Thank you for watching. End of video. Hey, I'm in my analytics in the channel called Dave J. Said So. And I want to show you the top videos, like in the overall total performance.
Okay, this channel no longer exists. I started it in honor of Dave J. And it was very successful, actually. And that is why I canceled it. It was successful. And not only that, basically it was Dave's work. And I just wanted to let Dave do his own thing. At the time I was afraid nobody would remember Dave because Dave kind of disappeared for a little while there. But Dave is still doing some videos. You just type Dave J small case letters. Dave J small case letters. And that will take you to his channel. He's also on other platforms of which I'm not familiar. I'm basically only familiar with YouTube, but Dave can be found in other platforms as well. And I owe a great deal to Dave J. And many others owe a great deal to him as well. So anyhow, this channel no longer exists. I voluntarily took it off. I was not asked to. I was not forced to. I didn't have 3 strikes, although I do think I had maybe 1 strike on it, or maybe 2 even. Mostly because Dave's work is so outstanding, you'll get the strikes almost immediately if you bring up his old videos. So anyhow, this channel is no longer there, and we'll move on to the next video in this series from my channel called Who is Who in Hoaxology.
You're about to watch is from the movie Barabbas, starring Anthony Quinn, and the movie came out in the year 1961.
They're the 2 men I was telling you about.
Send them, Rufus. I want to see them.
Bring those men over here to us. Very good, sir. Stop! These 2. Take them off the plow.
The 2 men so strangely come up from the underworld.
20 years in the mines, the old one. Indestructible.
I heard so.
Okay, now I want you to listen carefully to the question that will be asked.
You've earned the air you breathe, you 2, by sheer good fortune. What are your names?
Sahak, sir.
And yours?
Rose.
What's your age?
What's your age? Now that is a Masonic, coded, loaded question. It will be asked by a Mason of someone that they're hoping that they're a brother Mason from another area. In other words, they're unfamiliar with the individual. The handshake didn't work. Other clues didn't work. So now I want to know, are you a Mason? Let's listen to what the Masonic answer is.
What does it matter?
Indeed, what should it matter, since we understand you mean to live forever?
I must touch them for the...
Okay, what does it matter? Indeed, it doesn't matter, because I understand we must live forever. Now, how do I know that? I am not a Mason. I've been approached by Masons over the years to join their stupid lodges. But I've been so naive in all those past years, I didn't know their code words. I didn't know their secret handshakes. Nothing. But this one time, this individual wanted to have lunch with me. And this individual showed up with a Mason shirt on. In other words, just a real nice little shirt with a Mason logo, like where the pocket is, showing the compass and the square. And he sort of hinted around about different things. The handshake thing didn't work. Hinting around didn't work. So he said, "What's your age?" Well, I didn't know. So I literally gave him my literal age. He knew I was not in the brotherhood. I was supposed to say, "What does it matter?" And then the dialogue goes, "It doesn't matter because we're all eternal," or something of that nature. Now, the man that asked the question is going to be promoted to the Roman Senate, and he's bound for Rome. Right now, they're not in Rome. And the next phase of this movie is that Anthony Quinn, or Barabbas, will accompany this man and his wife into Rome to get into the big city, the big times. So in the movie, they built into it a loaded question to show people in the Masonic world, if you want to go places, you'll be just like the man on the far left there, the one who's bound for the Roman Senate. Politicians, big shots, influential, is what it's all about in their secret brotherhood. Join them. Be part of it. So Anthony Quinn, or Barabbas, in the movie, did give the correct response. Now, in a way, it's like saying that he's a lower level Mason. But they built this into the movie. They coded it so that those who were in the know and were watching it could actually see it on film. Their stupid, coded, loaded question. What's your age? Now, my story that I told you, when it happened to me, I didn't know anything about it. And I pieced this all together a few years after this encounter. And I came across a video somewhere that explained this whole thing about this question, what is your age? And that is a coded, loaded question. But at the time, I didn't know. And at the time, I didn't realize that this man was trying to recruit me for the local little secret hidden temple of the Masons, in which I would want no part, now in this life or forever, because they serve the father of lies. And they're all about secrets, because the big secret is their so-called God is Lucifer, God, false light of this earth. Well, the good news is I serve the one who is the true light, the light of this world, Jesus Christ. And I'd like for you to serve Jesus Christ too, and to say no to any of these offers to join any secret society. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and this concludes the video. So I'd like to talk to you about how to make discoveries. And the discovery in particular that I'm referring to is that Spiro Agnew, Vice President of the United States under the administration of Richard Nixon, who was really Ed Sullivan, is actor Don Porter. So you're looking at Spiro Agnew and his address where he's about to resign because of corruption. He didn't pay his taxes and other corrupted type things. But you're just looking at the actor Don Porter. Okay, that's Don Porter, and he starred on the show called Gidget, and that was down in about 1965. Now, I never watched this show growing up, but that was my era of being a younger child youth ready to burst into teen years. I never watched it because it pertained primarily to girl stuff, so I had no interest in it. But recently I've been trying to dig back into my past and my childhood and my youth and watch some of the shows that were on television when I was growing up, and I had never watched this show. So I was fortunate to get a DVD of the first season of Gidget. And I watched maybe about 25 episodes. And I was getting to know the character, Professor Lawrence, because Don Porter plays the role of the father of Gidget, who is Sally Field. And in the script, Sally Field is supposed to be about 15 and a half, closing in on 16, in this sort of teeny bopper television series. So just for fun, I decided to watch it. Now, always when I'm watching something, I'm realizing that we live in a hoax lie system, and that there are deceptions. Namely, all politicians are fake. There's other deceptions, great military heroes are fake, etc. So as you watch something, in the back of your mind is the possibility that you're actually observing some so-called historical character. Now, for about 25 episodes, I never ever thought anything at all except that Don Porter was just simply playing the role of the father of Gidget. And then in one particular episode, he falls down. And there was something about it when he fell down and the camera gave a different angle shot of his facial structure that a flash of insight came to me that he was Spiro Agnew. Now, I had no other way to substantiate this except it just flashed into my mind. Because when I grew up, Nixon was president and Watergate nonsense was about to happen and all that stuff in my youth. So in the back of my mind, I remember a very, very minor character called Spiro Agnew. And I do remember that something happened and he resigned, and I remember the big thing was that it was tax evasion. So all of a sudden, I'm struck with, hey, Don Porter, I think, is Spiro Agnew. So the next part of the situation that I was faced with is the research. So I'm going to play the video.
Guilty for the purpose of that negotiated proceeding in Baltimore. It does not represent a confession of any guilt whatever for any other purpose. I made the plea because it was the only way to quickly resolve the situation. In this technological age, image becomes dominant.
Okay, I'm just going to go to the Gidget opening in my video.
If you're in doubt,
There he is.
about angels meeting,
There he is.
Appearance supersedes reality. An appearance of wrongdoing, whether true or false, in fact, is damaging to any man. But more important, it is fatal to a man who must be ready at any moment to step into the presidency. The American people deserve to have a vice president who commands their unimpaired confidence and implicit trust. For more than 2 months now, you have not had such a vice president.
I can arrange to change any doubts you feel.
Professor Lawrence on Gidget, Don Porter. Okay, so the basic test that I usually give is a pick, try, if. Now I know it's not perfect, and I know that through the usage of prosthetics, makeup, hairdo, and lots of times even weight gain or weight loss will not give you extremely high accuracy figures. However, if the machine goes at least minimum 50% and approaches 60%, you have something. But when the machine hits 84%, you've nailed him, all right? So I was suspicious that Don Porter, Gidget's father, was playing in hoax history and hoaxology, as I like to call it hoaxology, was playing the role of Vice President Spiro Agnew. So taking the next step is the pick, try, if. Don Porter.
Had I remained in office and fought to vindicate myself through the courts and the Congress, it would have meant subjecting the country to a further agonizing period of months without an unclouded successor for the president.
Agonizing. I like my own sense of humor. Agonizing. Agnewizing. Agonizing. Agnewizing.
Despite my tormented verbal assertions.
Tormented.
To put his country through the ordeal of division and uncertainty that entailed would be a selfish and unpatriotic action for any man in the best of times. But at this especially critical time, with a dangerous war raging in the Mideast, and with the nation
no war in the Middle East
by the wrenching experiences of the past year, it would have been intolerable. So I chose instead not to contest formally the accusations against me.
Okay, you can almost see it by your own eye. Again, that's Agnew's speech when he's resigning. Now again, one of the things that throws the meter off a little bit is weight, whether they've gained or lost weight. But something you can do is compare the hair and say what type of hair they have. And could they just give them a different hairdo? And the answer is always yes. They do try to do a little extra with the hairdo stuff. But we got to get to the pic tri-iv, and that's kind of like, for me, one of the biggest things that confirms or denies my discovery. So after I get a notion, I will download photos of the actor and then photos of the historical character. So I downloaded photos of Don Porter and I downloaded photos of Spiro Agnew. Okay, we'll go to Wikipedia. I guess I'm holding the pic tri-iv till the end. So Wikipedia gives you an idea of birth,
Spiro Agnew. Got you, Spiro. I spared you, Spiro. I'm not going to spare you, Sparrow.
How do you like my sense of humor?
Okay, basically look at his date of birth and date of death. November 1919 and died 1996.
So it was 1918. I made a mistake, I believe. His birth. But I'm always looking for the closeness of birth and death. Now they can adjust that by several years, either on the end of the birth or death.
Date of birth of Spiro Agnew. Now we're going to jump to Don Porter, actor. Date of birth, very similar. Not exact, but very similar. Look, date of death, very close, very similar.
So I'm always looking for
similarities. You want the pic tri-iv
with death and birth. So right now, as I'm filming, I'm having a problem with my internet. And I apologize for that. I'm not sure if it's the internet or the browser, but the pic tri-iv will come up with statistics.
Don't worry, you'll get it.
84%.
Okay, you have Vice President Spiro Agnew on the left, actor Don Porter on the right. 84%. To me, that's good enough, but I'll give you a lesser comparison. Notice this picture will be the same on the left, but there'll be a new one of Don Porter on the right. 70%. That's good enough for me. So, the one who played Professor Lawrence, actor Don Porter, Gidget, and other movies too, by the way.
Okay, I'll stop the video that I made and come back to this large portrait of Don Porter. This is from the opening scenes of Gidget. I just froze the frame. Okay? So, basically what you have to do is, first of all, watch things that you're interested in. And as you watch things that you're interested in, realize that they borrow the actors for another play drama, the play drama of what we know as history, of what we think are genuine politicians, of what we think are genuine war heroes. They're just actors playing a part, and they have a script, and they fulfill their script on the stage of history. It's just a play. Now, unless you understand that, you'll not make discoveries. Okay? You have to understand that almost everything you've been taught is phony. And for me, that was one of the hardest things to come to. That it's an entire system. I refer to it as the Hoaxology system. The Bible refers to it as the world. And the ruler and prince of the world is the devil. And the devil's greatest power over people is deception. And the masters who run this world, they know that. So they borrow the power of the ruler of this world for their own selfish ends and means. And what that means to you and to me is that we need discernment. What is true? What is false? What is genuine? What is fake? And only when you realize that everything thrown in your face in the mass media, and I might even add in the educational system, was fake. And unless you get that, you not make any discoveries. But once you get that, and once you get your eyes open, and you do some discernment, you can do just exactly as I have done. You can watch something, and then all of a sudden, you'll get a revelation, like I got. Hey, Gidget's father is Spiro Agnew. I hope I didn't put you through an agonizing time.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. And once again, just to remind you, these are videos on the channel that I also lead or have or administrate called Who is Who in Hoaxology. And the date of doing this video May 17th, 2023, and currently on that channel I have 173 videos. Oh, 179, excuse me, 173. And all I'm doing is trying to capture my entire channel in a very condensed form, because I feel that of all the videos that I'm doing, the most important videos are the ones that show people you've been lied to. You've been lied to about almost everything, if not everything. And that's why it's so hard for people to exit the hoax lie system, because it's so massive and so much of their thinking has been based upon lies and liars. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I do wish you the best and the blessings that come to us through the one who is the way, the truth, and the life, the Lord Jesus Christ. This concludes the video.